So I like really pretty things and shiny things, and I like when things look polished. I think that's quite a normal kind of thing that people like. Anyway, on the screen right now you can see my really bad game that I made a couple days ago, and all we need to do is do some magic and boom, we have a nicer looking game. You can see the big difference that it makes. Basically adding some post-processing made it 10 times better. So instead of being a responsible game developer and working on things that actually matter in my game, you know, such as animations and like literally everything else with the mechanics, I decided to add some post-processing. So let's make this game pretty. I started by installing the universal render pipeline. This pipeline will do a bunch of stuff, but we are interested in it because it will allow us to have post-processing in our game. For those who don't know, the universal render pipeline is a pre-built scriptable render pipeline made by Unity. URP provides artist-friendly workflows and lets you quickly and easily create optimized graphics across a range of platforms, allowing you to make stunning sceneries and effects, basically making your game real pretty. Now, before anyone points out, yes, there is other ways of implementing post-processing, but this is the way I always go for, and it's what we're going to stick with. So after everything was set up, I was excited to add the bloom. But no, something obviously had to go wrong. I mean, it always does in my case. And now everything is neon pink. Now, me being a noob at Unity, I was freaking out. I was unaware of what to do, and I was just a mess. But it turned out to just be a missing or wrong texture, so I updated the textures with a simple click. Now great, nothing is fixed. This meant I had to create new textures and materials and reassign everything. And by everything, I mean literally everything, from the player to the 3D cubes. This took some time, but finally I had no neon pink renders. With that fixed, I added some post-processing and now we have this look. You can't see much difference at the moment because we have nothing in this world. So next I decided to work on some lighting. I began by adding some ambient light. Although this will take place during a night, adding some ambient light is important. Without it, it's really dark and it's hard to see anything. So it's important to get the balance right. The majority of light will be coming from shops and lamps, but I needed to add some general light anyways. So I started messing around with the directional light and I ended up with something decent looking. Then I decided to change the lamppost light. As my friend told me, it would be better to change it from a point light to a spotlight. This was a good idea as it made more sense as it's a lamp. And typically speaking, lamps produce more of a spotlight light. With all that lighting done, we have a game looking like this. And in all honesty, it looks pretty cool. It has the vibe that I'm looking for, and I like it. The lighting will be changing often as I constantly decide to add more light sources. For example, when I decide to add more shops and lampposts as such. But at the moment, this is what it's looking like, and I really like it. So some of you know what is coming next if you saw my recent YouTube post, but it's time to add a weapon. Now, I'm very indecisive, so I didn't know what to make and kind of what weapon to have. As you know, there is a lot of weapons out there. So I basically just created a straw poll, left it in the Discord, and came back in a couple minutes, or more like half an hour. Anyway, I got a bunch of cool replies to it, and basically I decided to take that straw poll, narrow it down, and create a new one, and this one I actually posted on my YouTube as well. So, thank you everyone for voting. We basically ended up with a katana, which I know basically everyone uses in their games nowadays, but you know, we all need to kind of unleash our inner weeb sometimes. So it's time to add a katana into the game. Now, I had a really busy week, and I was going to go ahead and make a katana model, but I didn't get to it. So for the time being, we are using a placeholder item, and it's basically a really nicely made katana that I found online. Links will be in the description below if you want to go ahead and download the same model. I'm only using this temporarily until I create my own. So, it's pretty simple to do this with Invector because they have a system of making an item and it didn't take much time. So basically created a little item of this katana and the player can pick it up by pressing E. Pretty simple. I did have to change a few things here and there to make it work and function properly, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. So next I had to do more technical things, actually make the attack a function. So this was really simple once again because Invector does a lot of things for you. However, it's not really what I was going for, so basically I just had to play around with things and slap things together, glue things together, whatnot, and now we have an attacking state. It's on the screen right now if you want to have a look at it. This is a bit of basic code, but I don't think you really care about it. Anyway, this is what you can do right now. You can hold the katana and you can go ahead and hit it. I also forgot to mention there is a combo system, so there's 3 attacks that you go between. You go between like a slash and another slash and a little stab thingy. But basically, it just makes the game feels really nice with the combo system, and it's really awesome. But I did have a few issues. I had to sort of pair up the katana with the animations because sometimes there was like not in the player's hand, which is not ideal, and this actually took quite a while in all honesty, but I ended up making it work, so good on me, right? But even though this is working and, you know, I created some collisions with it and you can actually hit enemies, but there is no enemies. Anyway, the point is it's working. However, it doesn't look really cool and I want it to look like really awesome. So we're basically going to use the Unity particle system on some trails to make a cool sort of slashing effect on the sword. Now, I'm going to show you how I did this. It's very, very simple. I basically just attached a Unity particle system onto the katana, made it a trail, added a few more particles, and boom, we have an awesome looking katana trail. Yes! Anyway, you can see on the screen right now, it's pretty cool and looks awesome, and I know it is a little bit bright. It's because I kind of overdid it on the bloom on the post-processing. Don't worry, I fixed that later anyway. But personally, I really like it. I like the way it kind of makes that effect, and it works really well with the post-processing. Also, if you would like a tutorial on this sort of trail effect, I can go ahead and make one on my second channel. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and join the subreddit now, and sub to my new channel, and yeah, sub to this one as well. I'm kidding, if you want to sub, go ahead and like the video if you are enjoying it. So with all that done, you can sort of run around, slash things, and it's pretty sick and pretty cool. But I need to add more pretty stuff. I need to make the game feel really, really awesome. So how do we do that? Well, we basically just need more particles. Pretty simple, right? So how do we do it, you may ask? Well, basically I just use the Unity particle system to create some weather. Not only does this make a nicer game feel, but it also once again makes the game look super nice. So this was very, very simple. I basically just created a rain particle, and yeah, that was basically it. We have some rain. Now, my issue is the fact that I didn't want this sort of particle system to be all over the map, because that meant a lot of memory loss of FPS, and it's just kind of would cause lag. So instead of having this particle sort of weather system all over the map, I decided to actually directly attach it to the player, and this looks terrible. It just sort of looked like the rain was following the player, so this is an easy fix. Basically, I just changed the simulation thing to world instead of local, and boom, we have a cool kind of weather system. It also doesn't take up much FPS, which is awesome. However, I want this rain to look more kind of realistic, so I need to create some sort of ripple effects and some little splashes on the ground. Yay. So I decided to go ahead and make a sub-particle to the particle system, if you get what I mean. If you don't, I can also make a tutorial on this. But basically, we have more particles, so it's not just one particle, it's multiple ones, and we have a cool sort of ripple effect. You can see on the screen right now, it's just me running around with the rain, and it's kind of looking pretty cool. So that was the next thing that I added, and I really am happy about this because it kind of sets the mood for the game. Also, it's not always going to rain in the game. This is just something that can happen randomly, which I think makes the game a little bit more cooler, I think, personally, anyway. So let's go on to the next couple of things. So next, I actually did quite a few little things that aren't that sort of noticeable. So first of all, from the previous episode, you saw that you can grab onto buildings. Well, before you had to press E. Now it is an auto sort of grab thing. However, I will make it a feature for the player to choose whether you want it to be sort of like automatic or whether you want it to be manual. But for now it's automatic, because I did see a few comments about that. Then I decided to sort of mess around with the sprinting. I had a few issues with it. It was a little bit too fast, so I kind of slowed it down. I think I still need to slow it down, but for now I'm using this for testing purposes. Also, I decided to go ahead and change the sprinting to a kind of holding sprint instead of a toggle one. Before, you can sort of toggle it, so when you press shift you would sprint and then it would toggle off. Now it's for like when you press it. Here is on the screen, you can see the code that I used for this. It was really, really simple, and you can have a look at that. And yeah, basically that's sort of what I did. I also had a few bugs here and there because I tried to basically export the game so my friends could test it out. And then I got a bunch of errors and I was really scared because I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to redo everything. No, I managed to save it. I basically just had to move everything to a new scene and change some project settings here and there. And basically, that all worked out. Also, a lot of you guys were asking about sort of like betas for this game and when it's gonna be released. I'm planning on releasing it this year, so that's really awesome. And I will also be releasing a beta very soon, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe so, you know, you stay up to date and everything, you know. Yay. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit of a different editing style once again. I'm just testing things out and, you know, testing the waters and everything. whatever. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below. Also, I will link the subreddit because I'm planning on making a Reddit video, but can't really do that when there's not much on the Reddit because, I mean, I only did post it like a couple days ago. Anyways, go ahead and join the subreddit and also go ahead and follow my new YouTube channel. Thank you guys for everything. I love you so much and have a good day, night, and afternoon. Bye!